Is that? Thank you very much, Claudia. And thanks, Jennifer. And thanks to Rod and Rona in absentia. I'm going to start off with a brand new poem I just wrote last week. Storm. I sip the far-off lightning, green twig bitterness in my mouth. Flat raindrop taste, a tongue spatter of harder rain. Slippery coil of garden hose is cold in my hands. Grass soaks my hems, weighs down my walking. The overhead wires are slick and jangly. Wet leaves drape my neck as I duck under the bowing branches. Flag like car wash squeegee sops and sogs. Gravel dampened to a wet metallic tang. Small stones scrunch and shift. Dry underlayer sifts to raise dusty plumes. Rivulets cross gray pavement, shin deep close to curbs. Running mud underfoot, ankle turn off balance, crouch among the rumbles. Tip to break the fall, and small sharp rocks imprint my knees, dent and adhere to the heels of my hands. Clouds race in fast, dark tendrils. It was suggested that I not read anything personally embarrassing to any member of my immediate family, which limits the number of poems that I had to choose from. But this one started off with an ideas broadcast on CBC called The Acoustic World of Early Modern England. And the quote that caught my attention is, every sound that had ever been made in the Earth's atmosphere still exists somewhere, no matter how faint the frequencies are. And if we just had the right equipment, we could still hear Shakespeare himself playing the ghost in Hamlet. And I asked myself, are the sounds of the past gone forever? The poem's called Simultaneous Ghosts. Hypothetical digital soundtrack recovers. Will, feigning identity, strange in itself. Talking, convincing boy of murder in his ears. Ghosts of ghosts measure space. Molecules. Record overexposed. Passages of perils fading. Contracting centuries. Not a song lost, not a story lost. Every detail prepares itself to be told. Dream and awakening we caught, don't have to say is true. Yoga class, tree pose. Reaching skyward, I am one who falls in the forest, hoping not to be heard. Bare soul gripping inseam of opposite thigh. Equilibrium eludes me. I struggle for balance, list and tip, a teapot splashing hot chagrin. The measured voice repeats, find a spot on the horizon, gaze soft. 3-minute eggs in their sockets, porch light through the glass of the classroom window, passenger waving from a distant ship. I lengthen, tall, balanced for the moment. Something different. This poem is forthcoming in a collection of poetry and short fiction, daughters remembering mothers of the 50s and early 60s. My mother tells me she dreamed of something different. A shimmering, movie-saturated past of tinkling parties, smart cocktail dresses, little hats with veils. Conversation, laughter, picnics and drives through the countryside, frozen in photos or blurred in memory montage. She speaks of the opera, the gray squirrel wrap I used to love to stroke, slippery feel of a strand of pearls, hush in velvet seat before the music. I flip through stories of cafes and quests pressed in a musty book, static pictures of the old Met, cardboard sets and costumes so fake they make me mock. I plead for her to turn off the radio Saturday afternoons. A part of her I don't recognize, the shrieking of the areas, her dreams of an era already creaky to my teenage certainty. The life she has is not the life she wanted, not the one she wants for me, but I want a life of my own making, textures of thrift store silk and rough suede, scent of musk or patchouli, strong arms and warm kisses. We both dream, it seems, of heroes. Pegging out washing. The indoor line dries sullen, planks jeans, towels are sandpaper, sheets standoffish, socks stunted shells. Cotton needs motion to dry to softness, but the dryer grumbles with noise and static. Things cling or are perfumed fluorescent. Today you crave the outdoors. You lug the load damp-in basket to the yard and peg, shadows of legs, arms, echoes of feet. Wind-channeled sunshine, breath of breeze winds over, moisture exhales. Fabric yields to drape shoulders, skirts swirl in soft pleats, buttons slide out of buttonholes. T-shirts nuzzle like jersey, sheets billow and fill, brush your face, wrap hips, shins. Their touch is shivery. Brown Bird, Whitish Bone, which is a poem for Ursula Le Guin from Always Coming Home. In the tranquil scene, two dead things, maybe more. Half the branches across the creek are dead. Some it's hard to tell, thinks Pandora. Old rib bone of steer rises out of shallow water. Small stones rush, click as they peck against bone. Dead bird casts an amber shadow in clear water, its feathers fanned among roots that make tracery. What is Pandora waiting for, and how could she begin to return? Tales told are layered sand in bottles. Scenes silted in miniature uncork rising wavy lines of sun smell, salt scent, thrust towards smooth of water, gnats, water striders, flies. Two dead things, Pandora observes, whitish bone, brown shadow, gravel churn in shallows, the clear shaded depths. Banks overhang pools, roots trail, each death suspended, bird body hanging, rib bone half out of water, a wash of creek gravel. It's a prairie poem, if there ever was one. Sometimes I catch the ring of a flag's tether slapping at its pole. Sometimes a schoolyard breeze kicks up, builds and builds, stealing dust from the stubborn tufts of stubborn tufts of spiny grasses that flail my ankles, while one by one I grip the rungs on the climbing bars, the breeze a wind now, wowing, whipping grits, snapping strings of my hair like candle flicker, stand at the top of a pointed star to sing and yell, refuse to yield, holler louder than the keening wind that tears your words away. Looking up, seeking the source of the turi first note shorter than the next. A cardinal clicked like a wind-up bird, slowed to ticks, a run-down clock, started again. I looked up, threw back my head, followed the sound, echo location among the branches, till I blinked the red fractal into focus against the green. In Convocation Hall, a pigeon on a pipe organ bobbed, took flight. The applause prompted a joke from the speaker in his gown. And in the grocery store, a peep of a bird made me look up, as it careened rafter to rafter, larger and brighter overhead than it would be outside. Longing, with an epigraph from Don Mackay, Twin Flower, a casting outward which unwinds inside the chest. No fisherman, I have never embarked with such high hopes at launch of day, not rode the water with mist rising like breath, never bought bait or squeamish hooked a worm. I've eaten fire-cooked perch, but not dragged fish from the water, struggling alive, not been fooled by the false tug that reels in empty, nor cursed the cunning of a wily watery ancient. But I know this casting, this unwinding. I know the zing of the line as it shoots out, the whir, the tension, the cavity that's left to probe with heart's echo some loose tooth. The fish in mottled shadowy silence bump gently against riverbed rock, log. There is no sound below, but vibrations take soundings, they plumb the depths. The bird, the dragonfly, the blowing tops of trees all tug at the ends of things, still tethered to that space vacated in me, neither free nor reeled in to a nearer place. It may be that my tackle's worn, line cast too many times or pulled too tight. Could I, hand over hand, haul in each taut inch, each foot of wire? What to do with this slack knot, tangle, mess? Would a ghost fish take my phantom line? There is no too quiet house, no dog. So the title is after a line from Becoming an Island by Tony Bursati. There is no too quiet house, no dog. She's traded them for this effluence of women, noisy, busy, animated with their purposes, their passion. She's exchanged the dog, her husband's pet, for clamorous cats that converse, rehearse their pounces to alarm the one blindingly bright budgie. She's taken on their pace with work she'd never have imagined, wielding knife against bin upon bin of vegetables, stirring and serving huge pots of stew for the proudly thankful, the ungrateful, and the occasionally abusive. She witnesses the screamers, the weepers, the merely subdued mutterers. She headlongs each night into timeless sleep, wakes renewed to unfiltered daylight, to drifts of conversation, wave after wave of occupation. Satisfied with this full life, she only sometimes searches shadows in still rooms, thinks she can feel the patient weight of a long whiskered muzzle against her thigh. And I'll close with this one with an epigraph from Rumi: when we have totally surrendered to that beauty, we shall be a mighty kindness. The fox. This morning I saw a fox sprint across a sweep of lawn by the lake. My dog, rooting out smells in the fallen leaves, ignored its arc of motion, a pared down moment and a squeaking open. Once I expected to walk through a door like that into green hills and unclouded horizons. I thought forever, I thought arrival. I still catch myself believing a switch will flip and I'll become that peeled shrimp of a self. But what crucible or frying pan, what marinade would make me? I will not set, I can't stay gelled. The moment never stays. Bright blue gasps of sky, light glinting off of glasses of red wine, the silky pull of lake water as my hands move me through it. Thank you very much.